afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, who looks like defender of the fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1v1 on Holotny Federal Winter. Between this, we got Luciano fighting for the Soviet Union, socialism. Taking on the role here of the 12th Tank Corps. Versus in the west, we got Tiramisu fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here for the 3rd Panzer Division here with Lightning War Mobile Defense Jaeger Armor Triple Infantry versus Luciano's defensive mechanized support here and shock rifle with double infantry and machine gun bullets here for Luciano. Sitting out there with the double conscript slightly heads aggressively northwards, going to try and pressure Tiramisu around its own territory. It looks like a disruptive opening here from Luciano. Tiramisu here with a standard MD42 got to restart, probably not quite aware what's going on, except you can see there's something going on here by the munitions point by the northern compartment. MD42 following up there, grabbing the point here next to the house, but even occupy it just in case. Going to do something northwards there for Tiramisu. Sandbags going down there to defend the cut-off point. With countries there moving in, and we got the other country squad moving towards here. Might try and pressure through the centre, or as opposed in theory open up for a southern route there. Engineers quickly fall into the house. Is going to basically try and stall. Tiramisu tries to push with the house while the country then make a direct grab for the northern fuel point. So this is a very much aggressive, disruptive start here for Luciano as he tries to sort of ruin Tiramisu's opening and put some undue pressure on them. More conscript away there for Luciano and more grenadiers for Tiramisu. So far he's just stalling around the fuel pump. We've got grenadiers moving up forwards there for Tiramisu, and gears force, they're going to try and flank up behind here and catch Tiramisu's forces in the back. Very sneaky Luciano there, and there you go, pioneers rolling, but they might be able to intercept the engineers just in time. They're a bit damaged here. Will the engineers be able to do sufficient damage, getting some kills here? There we go, Ludwig pops down, but we got the infantry. Oh, dealing with the conflict in the centre there. Engineers falling back. And here the countries will be able to fall back as well. There's Luciano's disruptive start has run into a few kinks here as Tiramisu was able to, with enough finesse, disrupt it. And there you go, Grenadiers versus conscripts. Grabbing the fuel point there, conscripts moving up, but still he is stalling. Of course, the issue is with this, he's not getting a lot of the resources himself down south, but still he's getting some of the northern resources. So in this regard, Luciano isn't falling too far behind, but this kind of opening really depends on you being able to see a lot more. And he did dispatch the other conscripts instead of towards the centre, but towards the south. You're probably able to make much better usage of it. The fact he didn't see the machine gun up, he should possibly have sort of hinted him to the fact that might have been machine gun covering the centre victory point. Either way, we'll soon have 4 country squads here for Luciano. They'll certainly give him a lot of infantry to pressure Tiramisu with. He was going for the 3rd Grenadier squad. And there you go, Pioneers dispatched, but nonetheless is about to get the fuel point there, and certainly before Luciano is. So right here, Luciano's disruptive start has so far fallen apart. A nice effort, but that conscript squad towards the centre there was, I think, a mistake, ultimately undercutting his efforts. Fresh fighting here in the north though, as Luciano tries again here versus Tiramisu, but this time more prepared. Grenadiers in much more favourable position to fight off Luciano's conscripts with. Luciano's now pressing towards the south. Sandbags going down there. Field hospitals up. We should probably then retreat these conscripts to get them healed up. I mean, they're still on health. I mean, running forwards there again would just waste manpower needlessly. Just getting a retreat healed up should allow them to quickly back into the field without necessarily losing any manpower on it. Bit of fighting around here, but the conscripts being outnumbered by grenadiers in overall better positions. There we go, straight into the MD42. Luciano pressures the conscripts northwards. Trying to assist the ones there, though again they're going to be of limited usage due to the low health. Engineers setting up a support from company. That could be a mortar here for Luciano to that way pressure and deny Tiramisu uses some of his machine gun to of course pressure the grenadiers, forcing Tiramisu then to get a bit more aggressive. And there you go, Luciano realises what a state the conscripts were in and retreats them rather than waste state manpower and equipment. So there goes the support company, almost done there for Luciano. Almost done. Troops healing and enforcing. No doctrine for the player. Tiramisu now sending aggressively here versus Luciano, hitting some of the points right next to his base to display dominance. With a 2nd MD40 here for Tiramisu to counter this conscript heavy build. Definitely not a bad idea. Though certainly is going to make a mortar slightly more useful there for Luciano. That is, if we can use it correctly. Well, these conscripts, you'd think he might have a doctrine that sort of really benefited from having a lot of conscripts, but none of the conscripts or the doctrines really benefit from it. So that's, I suppose, a bit unfortunate here for Luciano that none of his doctrines really sort of work out amazingly well with it. But there you go, you can soon get up the mortar. Will he go for the mortar or will he try for a maximum? I do think you should go for a mortar considering the nature of the map and the state of the fighting. And there you go, mortar on the way there for Luciano. Tiramisu has taken up there for Germany for the 3rd Panzer Division. Conscripts slowly moving northwards, troops reinforcing, healing. Mortar almost down there, the 82mm mortar, which was rather unusual since most other mortars used an 81mm mortar. Some suspect it was done to ensure the Germans couldn't use the munition, but the thing is, the Germans could easily use the mortar tubes. Easily. I mean, the mortar, if they used one of their own rounds, they'd just be slightly less powerful, but they still have the general, effect. Of course, the ammunition would be harder to use it, but So a little fun note there. This falling back. Any Soviet mortar troops would have likely been sent towards infantry divisions of generally less than amazing quality, or any division badly in need of it, and just sort of nothing else at hand. That's generally sort of how captured weapons were used. They were generally sort of sent to like 2nd, 3rd rate divisions in most cases, which generally meant an infantry division, like a Panzer Division would generally not be rated that, in most cases anyways. So a little fun fact there. Modifying the machine gun here. Back here, nothing further going on there for Luciano. One thing for Luciano to consider, of course, is Molotovs for his counters, then setting a smoke screen and then rushing through the smoke screen and then popping the Molotovs as opponents. That's definitely a nice little combo there. Guessing though, Luciano setting up resources for some fast take here versus Tiramisu. Neither player though going for a doctrine. Tiramisu's got lightning war here to benefit from all of his grenadiers with the Jaeger light infantry upgrade. None of his other doctrines though really work well with it. It also just happened to be the most commonly used doctrine out of all the Wehrmacht doctrines. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, if Luciano's able to push out a T-70 fast enough, he could force Tiramisu to have to go for a Puma to counter it, which would then make it harder for Tiramisu than to bring up any armour. So there are some possibilities there for Luciano to press a few buttons on his opponent. Pack 40 following up there for Tiramisu. That is his first choice from the light mechanized company, the Panzer Division 30. Clearly he's not feeling too pressured by the conscripts in the presence, and actually wants to prepare for what he's more worried about, which is clearly a T-70 light tank here from Luciano, though he is not so far making any overt movements towards it. Further fighting up north here, allowing him to hit the fuel point again. Luciano making good use of his larger number of conscripts to harass and sort of hit Tiramisu here and there. We also got a demo charge and interesting positioning. In this case, actually a bit obvious. I mean, if it's placed a bit further behind the house, it'd be a lot harder for Tiramisu just to sort of spot. I mean, the position there makes it easily viewable by Tiramisu who walks by with a minesweeper. So that could have been, I think, slightly positioned better. There we go. Take up final for Luciano. Can almost go for a T-70 right away. The South conscript falling back, and they're holding them back in a slightly desperate defense in the south. MD42 covering the area around here, but he's not pushing forward though. In this case, the conscript's got flanked behind MD4. You can see that looks like Tiramisu realised that's been a mock position. We've got a smoke in there from Luciano on it. In this case, a bit too late, but certainly nice work there. And the T-70 is available. We could also go for the half check on S6, and there you go. In this case, Tiramisu did not spot it. The demo charge went off, wiping Tiramisu's machine gun crew. Following up with Panzer Grenadiers, there's a lot of conscripts. Panzer Grenadiers are a solid counter, especially if your opponent has no doctrine to upgrade them, meaning the Panzer Grenadiers, in most cases, enjoy the overall advantage. So that, I think, is a very good tactical choice there by Tiramisu and the German army. Got the mortar there setting up. No T-70s. It could be Luciano here is actually planning on moving straight on for the tanks, the medium tanks, not light ones. It's definitely a bolder move there by Luciano, but definitely not a bad one. Going for a second engineer squad, that's the rest of them northwards. Certainly will indicate he's planning on just one units and support all the tanks. Holy moly! He actually tried to build a bunker around his opponent's car fight? In a situation like that, Tiramisu's got balls. Big brass balls. That was impressively bold, though obviously a bit insensible. Fuel cache up here for Luciano. That is definitely increasing evidence he's planning for some armor rationing of the higher order. Otherwise he'd not be going for a fuel cache like that while not going for any light armor. He's definitely planning on rushing out T-34s. And in theory then, and seeing as he's gone for defensive, he's then either angling for mechanized support or shock rifle for long-term playing, in which case he's sort of used the T-34s to hold enough ground to push out something bigger. He might then benefit, I suppose, from mechanized support, since the Guard Rifle are going to be quite good support. Of course, the shock troopers could also be helpful. We'll see what Luciano ends up with, but that fuel cache is definitely going to generate some extra fuel there, and that will be helpful here versus Tiramisu and the 3rd Panzer Division. In the centre there, grabbing the centre victory point. Uncontested, mortar blasting away here. Bombarding the house. And there you go, Panzer Grenadiers there, pushing back the Russian troops in the north. Feldwebel Ludwig Werner successfully clears the area. There you go, fat flank here going on, strange an MG42 that barely gets it up here before the Russian tide hits it. Of course, we've got the mortar which could smoke the area. In fact, he could have smoked it before moving in. Anticipating machine gun there if he were. But we'll see, troops there healing reinforcing. You should definitely begin, I think, setting up there for the mechanized armor company, in particular with the fuel advantage he has. Once he's covered up, he can very quickly follow up with the T-34s from 6, since they are, by their very nature, pretty damn cheap. Meaning, you know, you can pretty quickly begin pushing them out versus your opponent. There you go, and in fact, as you can see here, you'll soon almost, as it is done, be able to push out T-34s from 6. That fuel cache, for example, is going to help out quite nicely. So good work there by Luciano. Tiramisu on the defensive, he's taking up there. But he needs to support a co-op. In the meanwhile, though, he's buying more time versus all the infantry. Luciano here constantly making good use of the severe number of conscripts, outmaneuvering there, never trying to get up in a really bad fight there versus Tiramisu, not trying to just beat him down, just constantly trying to keep him guessing, swiftly outmaneuvering and using the mortars to deal with any hard points. So very aggressive infantry attacks here from Luciano, and so far very expertly done there versus Tiramisu. That is some good conscript play. Mechanized armor company are almost done, and there we go, in fact it is done, and he is, well, 1/3 of a minute away there roughly from a T-34-6, also known as about 20 seconds. And now even faster than 20 seconds, and there you go. You can call in the T-34-6 and begin applying severe pressure to Tiramisu, who's not anywhere near that close to any Panzers, or even the Stug. So Luciano's play here, alongside the fuel cache, has catapulted him into position where he can really begin being nasty there versus Tiramisu. So what will Tiramisu do versus this? That is the big question now. Smoking around the centre, very good work there. Then do suffering versus the conscripts here. German infantry pushing for the north, machine gun panzer with the T-34s from 6 halfway done here for Luciano. There you go, Panzer Grenadiers sweeping in from the north. A bomb grenade might be needed for clearing up some of this area here, since they are rather outgunned. In this case, without Carves, the Russians do have some, and they're going to start retreating. I do think a bomb grenade that might have been helpful. And now he's making the right choice of going for a second pack 40, by the way, as we got a T-34s from 6 out. And Tiramisu is quite aware that even if he builds a support crop, it's going to take some time to get anything out. And a single pack 40 versus any medium armor, unless he sets things up really correctly, Luciano handles his tanks terribly, it's not going to be enough. So going for a second perk 40 here is, I think, the very correct choice here by Tiramisu. He is building up now though, and will soon be able to go for the Stug, but the problem is the T-34 is already out in the field. So buying for more time with the second pack 47 going to prove, I think, to be a good choice here for Tiramisu and the 3rd Panzer Division. Grenadiers being equipped with more light machine guns. He's lost one Grenadier squad actually, whereas Luciano has yet to lose a single conscript squad, so he's been doing quite good then in the unit preservation business, but again, he's not been seeking up decisive engagement. He's just been sort of constantly trying to wrong foot Tiramisu as much as possible, trying to avoid as much as possible Tiramisu being able to bring down overwhelming firepower at his forces any time. So I mean, even if he attacks here, he then attacks here at the same time as well. He's just sort of constantly shifting his focus. Oh, scheisse! Now they're going to just get taken out here by a demo chance. Luciano just keeps pouring on the advantage over Tiramisu. Near the double pack 40s are proving to be decisive. They could get the T-34-76, and this is why in these situations you go for the double pack 40 because you're more likely to, just getting knocked out. And then it's also why a bit careful with the opponent. If they're actually a bit behind, they more likely, if they know what they're doing, try and aim for double anti tank against a stall for armor. And meanwhile, try and get sort of a kill volley there on your medium tanks. So good work there by Tiramisu. Made the right call. Though it was pretty risky. Had Luciano been supporting his tank with more infantry, for example, let's say some shock troopers, that would have been amazing. He would just smoke in front of the T-34, pull it back, and then rush the pack 40 with the shock troopers. I mean, then Tiramisu would have a bad spot. So this was a highly risky move in this case, due to Luciano not supporting his tanks with infantry properly. It turned out to be the right choice for Tiramisu. But again, highly risky. I would not recommend this in all circumstances. Comes there, pinned down. Begging for support, mercy, or at least retreat. The MD-42 is definitely doing good work for Tiramisu and the German army. More infantry pushing straight forward to the machine gun's arc of fire. Is he smoking it? Yes. Oh, he's even calling it silly then. He's gone for shock rifle, by the way. He's gone for shock rifle. He could have gone for guards rifle. That would also give him some benefits, but shock rifle on a map like this certainly has its advantages, so I'm definitely not faulting him for it. In particular, a few shock troopers in the right places could be quite impactful versus Tiramisu. And of course, long term, the IS-2 is going to be nice as well, though he might want to consider second fuel cast to really make that work. We shall see what ends up with that for Luciano. And there you go, second T-34-76 out here for Luciano. The 11th Tank Corps comes there as the Panzer Division. Bet you too, that which definitely gives them a big advantage as the conscripts, because they pull up behind some branches sticking out of the ground, some trees already dead. Does fall back though, does not wish to risk it too much. 200 points left here for Tiramisu though. He might actually want to extend them more, being to the south to send in some pioneers, harass or something else. It's also gone for a replacement. Grenadier squad equipped them swiftly with a light machine gun. T-34 strikes northwards and wipes the machine gun with a single hit. That was his veterancy one machine gun crew, and that just got splattered out across the ground here. Big loss there for Tiramisu, going for the Panzer IV here. Not for the Stuke, he's feeling reasonably confident to solve with the Pack 40 and just wants to go for a Panzer IV, which can handle the infantry better. If not a bad choice, Pack 4's been caught him and sent around even the machine gun. Risky move here and ultimately punished here by Luciano, but we'll have to see how hard the punishment. One Pack 40 is going to go down. Russian infantry charging through the centre. North T-34 there, Graham dealing with machine guns as it gets recruited by Grenadiers. Auto splattered across the ground like the initial crew there. Nasty hit from the 76.2mm gun. In the centre, conscripts out to the Grenadiers with the light machine gun. Charging across negative cover there was a bit risky, to put it mildly. Panzer IV there, almost done for Tiramisu, the 3rd Panzer Division, and there you go, effects bereit. Hitting the northern fuel point, a few flare mines could be decent here for Luciano installing. He's saving up manpower, could be a cache, it could be support weapons. Though cache would definitely be a right choice if second cache here would allow him to more easily just push for the IS-2 as fast as possible. And if he is planning for an IS-2, he should definitely try and speed up the process as much as possible, because that way he can also quickly fill up the resources after getting the IS-2 to then go for more T-34s and not to support it. So we'll see here what Luciano ends up doing. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Machine gun opening up there. Double pack forcing the T-34-76 again this time. Though Luciano's a bit prepared for this eventuality, falls back with it. But the overall sortie is thwarted here by stout German defenders in the centre. The Panzer IV, the MD-42, proving to be an insurmountable obstacle for Luciano's head-on assault. Up north, Panzers are dealing with engineers, half-8 of H-73. These proven men of the Wehrmacht sweep away the Russians. The south seemed to still be non-existent there within Tiramisu's mind. Panzer 1 down, it repairs. You should actually consider second Pioneer Squad to help repair his armour. Could also be useful in laying down mines. A few Tiramisu in the right places, I think, could go a long way for Tiramisu. Seems like Luciano is now playing for the IS-2. Not going for second fuel cache. Nope. Lost his first counter squad. Replaces it with a shock trooper squad. Yeah, not a bad choice, I guess. Though playing straight for the IS-2 with only one T-34, I think feels exceedingly overconfident there by Luciano. I mean, could make it work. I mean, he is doing some damage, but Tiramisu's getting a better hold on the map than the Panzer. Also going to make it hard to just get along with a single T-34 and nothing else, in particular since Tiramisu's Panzer IV has double pack 40 supporting it, so it feels like Luciano might be pushing us like a bit much there versus Tiramisu. Is yet to go for a doctrine though. He really should consider that. He really should strongly consider that. Continue to bash around here. The church on the infantry and support weapons. Church might actually catch on fire. I mean, he's almost getting wiped out here, but they barely survive. Second fuel cache down here, actually, good work. Lastly, setting up for pushing out that IS-2 as fast as possible. Also helps make up for some of the ground lost here to Tiramisu. And there you go, the church now is in blazes, being consumed by the fires of socialism. So in a few more minutes, he can begin calling in the IS-2 and begin applying some serious pressure to Tiramisu. Is yet to go for doctrine at all. No lightning war, no mobile defense, no Jaeger armor. Definitely not encouraging. Got the Panzer IV rushing ahead, halfway to it into one, catches the crunch squad out in the open, shoots but misses spectacularly. The round zipping right past them, hitting some ground behind them. Oh, there you go. Second hit though is much more impactful, taking up Pushkin and Petrov. And how did the rifle end up there? Just how? Oh God, no! By Stalin's mustache. How did it end up like that? Anyways, engineers come to the center, taking fire from the Panzer IV, the MD-42. Shock troopers T-34-76 setting out. Striking and flanking the MD-42, good work. Of course, still needs to be mindful of the Pack 40s. Of course, with the shocks around, he can quick need toss down a smoke grenade. Troops out in the arm as the T-34-76. Luciano is roughly a minute away actually here from the IS-2. They might lose the shock from the pros if he's not careful. Nope. Looks like they'll get away. So we'll soon have an IS-2 up here versus Tiramisu, who is seemingly stalling for his own big tank or tank destroyer. He's going for lightning war. Just going to play for the Tiger tank. Both players here clearly bitten by a mad Führer and now suffering under Führer syndrome, as they both race for their big tanks. Just how? I don't want to know, though. Constantly moving ahead there. Push back there with the Panzer IV, double pack 40 machine gun. He's expecting Luciano to attack through there. Smoke screen down, but without, I think, sufficient support. Of course, it would be a great idea to at some point smoke the Pack 40s and rush them with the IS-2 and the T-34-76 combined. Heading the south there. He's reinforcing a lot of troops, needs to be careful there. He needs to sort of slow down his, I think, his aggressive plan, so if he really wants to go for the IS-2 as fast as possible. He needs to accept that he can't keep reinforcing everything if he also keeps attacking. And that's going to basically stall Luciano from getting that IS-2 as fast as possible. I'm just going to keep doing that. He might as well just go on for a lot of T-34s, just pressure his opponent right then and there, because at least then he wouldn't have this manpower happening and then does nothing. So he really needs to just stop reinforcing and accepting you again. He wants that IS-2 as fast as possible out. Troops being pinned down in the centre, they're hitting the south. Finally there, Tiramisu advances for Germany. Having also gone for a second Pioneer Squad, so good. Wipe the Grenadier Squad, bit of loss there for the German army, the 3rd Panzer Division. And there you go, Luciano is moments away from the IS-2. The Josef Stalin 2 tank. And there we go. So with that, we got here a big tank out for Luciano, the IS-2. Should have the pin light machine gun there for, but that's certainly going to add some pressure there to Tiramisu in particular. If he smokes the Pak-40s, make it hard for him to actually shoot the IS-2. Of course, also across Luciano doesn't do anything silly with his IS-2. There you go. Blast the Grenadier, and Tiramisu can soon follow up with the Tiger tank. Largely due to Luciano, of course. Just getting too impatient there, keep pressuring, stalling the IS-2 actually from being called in, so rather loses the advantage he might have gained from otherwise doing so. T-54 moving in, they're sweeping in, they're getting behind the Pak-40s, could destroy them. Don't focus on the Panther 4, take out the Pak-40s. Take out the Pak-40s. Wrong priority there, Luciano. Wrong priority. Got the Panzer 4 though, the high veterancy allowing it to shoot faster. It did get it, but I'd still have to say that was unnecessarily risky. Got both Pak-40s, but now both his tanks are heavily damaged, and the Tiger tank is in a fresh condition there. Gets the T-34 crew ejected like ragdolls. Engineers wiping the tank grenade off there. Fails to impact on the Tiger tank. Both tanks penetrating each other. We'll probably try and grab the T-34 while under fire. And there we go, main gunners on there. Still need to fall back, And right here we sort of see the issue with Luciano's attacks. He just focused on the Pak-40s first. You can then quickly dealt with the Panzer 4. Most of the tanks were probably not suffered too badly, and he could then have even taken the Pak-40s before the Tiger tank arrived. Damage engine now, but Luciano has suffered grotesquely in these battles. He's lost most of his force, most of his conscripts, and his IS-2 is badly damaged. And meanwhile, Tiramisu is actually going for relief infantry that way, meaning any losses he suffers can then quickly be filled up, allowing him to be even more aggressive here versus Luciano. So Luciano is right now in a really, really bad place. Really bad place. That was not good at all. There you go, second unit squad out. Shock to the swing against the Panzer Grenadier. Got a bun grenade off, and he walks straight through it. Suffering heavy damage. Still put back the Panzer back. Ostrom now out here for Tiramisu. Got the MB-42 ready to cover the north. Shock troopers being reinforced. You should quickly follow up with either an SU-5 or a bunch of T-34s from 6s. Probably T-34s from 6s, since now, having suffered heavy infantry losses, he's going to have to rely more on tanks to pressure his opponent's infantry around. So I think he's definitely going to have to push for some T-34s from 6s soon, and obviously needs to handle his IS-2 a bit better next time, so it doesn't become so needlessly heavily damaged. Pictures of smoke there. Hiding in the smoke while taking the centre victory point, keeping up bleed there versus Tiramisu. So good. IS-2 with shock troopers support heading northward, so that machine gun crew is going to have one hell of a surprise once it see what's coming in the direction. Tiger tank was trying through the centre. That's going to force Luciano to maybe divert his tank towards the south there. MD-42 setting up in the shed, except setting up in the wrong direction. Helmut, are you sure we should be pointing in that direction? East, west, what's the difference? Well, one side is where the enemy's actually going to come from. There you go, another relief infantry just in case here. Tiramisu takes no chances with the arrival of the IS-2, and Luciano can soon go for another T-34 from 6. But again, with the Tiger tank out, he might feel more compelled to get an HD5 out. We'll see what Luciano ends up with. He's going to attack straight ahead, though perhaps not anticipating his opponent's going to be expecting him to attack through there with the IS-2 up here. Better move, might try to attack through here and sort of get behind. He's being pushed back by the Tiger tank, and meanwhile, troops being suppressed, they push the call point. Pioneers what? Not awesome squad out there for Tiramisu, but still, it's still nonetheless not a trade he wants to make, because the Oscar can't repair his Tiger tank, the Pioneers could. And an interesting choice here, Luciano ends up going for the Katyusha rocket launcher. I mean, that's going to be more helpful as the infinite support weapons, but not so much as the Tiger tank. Now there's some squad out there for Tiramisu. Both fuel caches, they're still operable for Tiramisu. The one has now been disconnected. Constantly hit. They're trying to rush it instead of rushing straight to Panzer and the Tiger tank, which is definitely not helpful there for Luciano's conscripts. Definitely not helpful. There you go. Katyusha rocket launch out for Luciano. Heading the northern points. And a Stug for Tiramisu, that I think is definitely a strong choice. It will easily help his Tiger tank there deal with the IS-2, but also any supporting armour for it. Plus can even help versus infantry with a machine gun and a bit of good usage. Big push towards the north there, really big push here from Tiramisu. Got to sweep out any rations hiding about there while he's also securing the south, where Luciano's barely getting forced to assist with. IS-2 flanking the Tiger tank, and they're getting off a good hit. Send the artillery called in the support and supporting infantry. But Luciano's certainly finding himself a bit aggressively extended. Almost, did he actually take out some of his own troops? He just need to kill the shock through there with the IS-2. Around here, machine gun proved to be a nasty obstacle there. We got Katyusha firing. Expect to take out the machine gun. Yes, indeed, most of the rockets still missed the mark so far. Second volley also misses, and the rest of the certainly also will now. Since the machine gun has left the places. And there you go, S-mines down on Luciano's field point there. Tiramisu is now really just hitting back hard on Luciano. He's got the advantage, and he's not going to give it back no matter what, at least not willingly. So Luciano go for T-3476 now. Will it be the HD5, or what will it be for Luciano? Bunker up for Tiramisu, machine gun down there. Not a bad choice at all. I mean, he's lone victory points, so what he can do to make it harder for Luciano to be able to rate one of them is definitely a very good idea there. IS-2 good to go again. Luciano not going for any tanks or tank destroyers here. And Shock 2 is trying to shoot through the centre range straight into a Tiger tank. The assault's not being pretty, obviously. Is he thinking a KV-8 maybe? Nope, going for the HD5 then in the end. Going for the HD5. IS shooting southwards to assist there. Constantly need to retreat before they get wiped out. There's just too many Panzer going to deal with veterans you flee. Expansion towards here and catching the Ostrom out in the open, wiping the machine gun bunker. The next target for the IS-2. The IS-2 in fact was a tank designed for clearing out bunkers with this 122mm gun. That was sort of its primary job, clearing out Dagon infantry and any sort of fortifications. Fighting tanks was actually secondary for the IS-2, and generally for most Soviet tanks. So tank doctrine generally relied on tank destroyers dealing with the tanks. It's a little fun fact, but there you go. Bunker down, kaput. Small victory there for Luciano. Smoking down in the centre, but there you go. Instead it ends up being Tiramisu taking advantage to attack at Luciano here in the centre. Need to flank with the IS-2 and then attack with the HD5 from the front. I think need to get them out too late. The house collapses with him. He needs to be blasted into the dirt. Mission 5 shoots, misses, reveals his position. Ostrom taking a nice hit. Mission 5 bounces off the Tiger's frontal armor this time around. Shock Trooper is going to leave Ostrom charging into, but ends up retreating unless does not wish to risk it. Peg 40 up, comes to the spotting ahead here. Still a bit risky here. And oh, caught moving. Still. Falls back, does not push his luck here, does not push his luck. Gain veterans 1 there on the IS-2. Need to retreat those conscripts though. Troop shielding reinforcing. Shock troopers almost at efficiency 3. That should do Luciano nicely. And there you go. H5 catches the Stuke there, having some pathing issues by the church. Second hit from the H5 also penetrates the Stuke's 80mm of armour. And more engineers here for Luciano to repair his armour. And he is rapidly running out of victory points now. And the machine gun bunker up here for Tiramisu. Machine guns down there as well, and the south hitting the southern victory point. Needs to send something down there. Now they can choose your barrage while at the same time laying down a smoke stream with mortar there and allowing the shock troops to advance. But with the Tiger able to spot up where it is, he needs to get something else with the Tiger tank back, or he's going to lose the shock troopers, and he might still lose them here. Need to retreat in the southwest from there, being engaged by the IS-2. There you go, successfully repulsed. 26 kills there for the motherland. Prioritizing fixing his IS-2 rather than doing something about the victory point. I mean, he could have combined the two, you know, fixing the IS-2 on the victory point, for example. That would have been slightly more efficient there. So H-85 IS-2 and a Katyusha. Wait, did he actually go for a second one? I did not. Just briefly seemed like it to my mind. Stuke really hits in the H-85. Need to get the IS-2 up to support that, but there we go. Got a big push here through point, actually keeping the IS-2 from supporting the rest of the forces up north. In this case, though, Tiramisu looks out on duty to really rush the H-5 to take it out. In this case, looks like that hit a mine on anti-tank grenade, damaging the end of the Tiger, preventing him from pushing ahead there. So, small opportunity lost, but now it's Luciano's time to see if he can then make use of it to punish him for that. But there goes Stuke right here. They almost losing the H-5 though. Pack 40's there. And oh, gets the Stuke. There's two flanking the Pack 40, so rockets landing on them as well. Almost taking out at least one of them. There we go. Pack 40 down, another Stuke on the way here for Tiramisu. Should actually go for Stuke a bit sooner, but there you go. Almost got the second one. The Tiger's in trouble here. He could grab the Pack 40 and turn against the Tiger tank here. Should actually do so. But he isn't. He isn't. Oh, he's going to go for the other Pack 40 here. Tiramisu is in deep shite. He's got his target defense 2 here. Grenadiers going to try and panther up the Pack 40. Oh, getting wiped out. He should have gone for the other one, which would have been further away from the German infantry. And now the machine gun support got incendiary called in, but still lost an opportunity to destroy the Tiger tank. Still his IS-2 is also very close to it too. Machine gun bank in the center needs to go down though, pretty schnell. Or pretty quickly. How do they say that in Russian? Destroy the Pack 40, good decision there, good decision. H-5 opening up there on the machine gun bunker while the IS-2 then deals with the packs. Denying Tiramisu a lot of anti-tank there in a few swift moments. And there you go, bunker down. Need to pull back the air shooter farther for repairs. That should be a priority. And also need to be careful with the IS-2. Oh, he's pushing his luck. He's pushing his luck. Careful, careful. You don't know what's in the base. You don't know what Tiramisu might have gone for. I know you kind of want to destroy the Tiger, but you're really risking it there. Ah! Shoots, misses. Instead takes up a lot of needless damage here. Almost risks losing the IS-2 to the Stuke. In fact, he might just lose it. Yup, looks like he's going to lose it here. A really bad call there by Luciano. Really bad call. He sent his IS-2 into the hornet's nest and loses his veterancy to IS-2. That was a really bad call there by Luciano. I can understand why he did it, but that was still pretty much just sticking it right into where he doesn't want it to be in the hopes of getting the Tiger tank. That was not a good trade. I mean, attempted trade there. So now Tiramisu's got the advantage. Even lost the Stook. He's got a veteran 2 Tiger tank. And that's a really nasty threat. Panzer sweeping straight to the shock troops will clears them out very easily. And they're swing with the cannon of the light machine guns. Quick grenade. Anticipating the extra tracks of retreat. In this case, they did not. The Grenadiers stuck their ground for the fatherland until the shock troops got within effective range, in which case they did beat a hasty retreat. And now the Tiger is back in action for Deutschland. North got a T-34 swing through the defence here. I mean, he can actually soon go for another IS-2. In this regard, the fuel caches are proving to be quite helpful there for Luciano, as they just ensure that the only thing he's actually really short of is manpower when it comes to tanks. He is not short on fuel at any point in time, so he's got a lot more options there, which is good for Luciano. If he just didn't throw away that IS-2, he could easily have more other tanks to support the IS-2, instead of having to go for another IS-2. Church on the south. Oh, it sounded like he hit a mine. Smokeson on the centre. Except he's not rushing anything forward. Might be some mental games there versus Tiramisu. Make him think something's about to happen there and then not really do anything. Loose in the south, loose in the north, loose in the centre. The loss of that IS-2 has been absolutely critical to Luciano, as map control now is spiralling out of control for him. Coming on the Tiger tank there, shoots, penetrates the 100 meters of non-sloped armour. Blitzkrieg here to get out of range, takes another hit though. The South T-34 pushes back German infantry, in this case Ostrovin. In the Calf point, another Katyusha barrage here from Luciano in the hopes of wiping some stuff. Very closer to his second IS-2. Stuke striking towards the centre. There you go, Ostrom being pursued here by the T-34 and 6 supported by some infantry. Grabbing the southern fuel, and there you go, second IS-2 out here for Luciano. In the south end, port defending the remaining victory point for Tiramisu. IS-2 T-Fed moving towards the centre there. He's going to need the Tiger and the Stoop to repel this armoured assault. Of course, the Panzers, the Panzers are probably also there to assist with that. It does mean he's got less to deal with the infantry, but he clearly prioritises the armour there from Luciano. Probably also something to do with his Veteran 2 Tiger tank, which is going to be pretty good at dealing with Russian infantry anyways. Doing a lot of damage as the IS-2. Engineer squad right, Tiger tank falling back for repairs up north. Ostrom dealing with the country, but not doing too well. You could try and go for a Panzer IV on Ostwind. Or some other things there. We shall see what Tiramisu ends up with. Tiger tank heading northwards, halfway to Veteran C3 on that Tiger tank. Centre victory bomb scored there by the MD-42 meters. The southern one there comes being hit. Anti-tank there goes off on the Tiger tank. 25 kills for das Vaterland. Oh, S-mines wiping out one of Luciano's remaining counter squads. Nice work there by Tiramisu and the 3rd Panzer Division. Another Strook on the way for Tiramisu, continuing to prioritise the distraction of all of Luciano's armour. Falling back towards the fuel point now, rather than trying to move forward towards the fuel victory point to secure that while repairing the Tiger tank. Might not have been the move I would have made there. We've got the T-54 should fire moving in. IS-2 almost good to go here for Luciano. Going back with the Stu for repairs. Smoke screen here, Panzer Division moving into obstruct. IS-2 attacking here. In the north, we got the issue to fire the Tiger tank, the T-54 clashing out here. Issue 5 getting that you need to go for the tank with the Tiger head on into that though. Going straight for the issue 5, in which case you approach on blitzkrieg type maneuver and just one more fire from the Tiger tank. Stu misses. He's almost got it. There you go. Almost got it. HD5 down. Tiger now blitzkrieg. You need to present the frontal arm into the T-54 before it's too late. Stu turning about. Tiger turning his turret up pretty rapidly. And there we go. Almost got the T-54. Stu go. Tiger tank almost down. He should be able to get it. He should be able to get it. There we go. T-54 down. Tiger tank almost down. Got the IS-2 flanking. Stu moving up to support. Tiger tank gains veteran fleet. It is an ace now. It is an ace. Got him Himmel, but it's almost dead as well. Got the IS-2 moving in. 89 points was under 28. Stuks there. Needs to target weak point on the IS-2. None the T-54 for Luciano. Barely any troops left. Stuks on the hunt for Germany. Veteran 2 gain the Stuks. Shooting up. Shooting up. Stops bouncing off the IS-2. Another penetrating hit there. Tiger tank being repaired. At least needing repairs. 33 kills there. I was about to say 53 kills. And his IS-2 escapes here. The Stugs. It was pretty damn close there. It was pretty damn close. Need to get all his pioneers up there to work on that, I would say. Stuks are still, I think, comparable with a bit of damage. They suffer with the Tiger tank, I think, it's not going to be useful unless it gets some of these swift repairs to at least put it up to 50% health and get back in action. Instead, he decides to repair the Stuks here rather than just get the Tiger fixed up as fast as possible. Now, the T-54 on the way for Luciano. Mortar crew spotted. So the mix upon this secured by Luciano. Blitzing back the Tiger. He's not risking anything. More pioneers at this point would actually be a pretty good choice for Tiramisu. Just to be able to speed up the repairs. So we got Grenadiers also maybe the shocks which got them up here. Cross negative grabber. Need to be careful there. Oh, grenade off. Almost wiped the Grenadiers. Oh, so close here. Stu mainly going to try and flank around. Pretty risky there by Tiramisu. Pretty risky. More S-bands going off left and right. Stu's about to get outmaneuvered here by the T-54. Stu's being held here in the centre. There you go. T-54 starting. There we go. Titan moving in. Shoots. Oh, misses. Still T-54 right in front of the Stuks. Almost got one of the T-54s. So there you go. T-54 down. IS-2 next target. He's moving in. The Tiger tank. He's moving in. His ace. Blitzing, he's going to go in aggressively there. He's going to go all in here to try and finish off Luciano. He's almost got the IS-2 there. Down to half health. Tiger tank moves in. Shoots. Penetrating hit there. Stuks almost got it. That's going to be the ace of the Stuks. And there you go. Main gun down. Stuks should be able to finish it off. And there you go. The IS-2 is down. Abandoned. And with this, Luciano spirit is broken. GG. Game over. A loss for the motherland, a victory here for the German army. The 3rd Panzer Division was able to score victory, though it was pretty damn close at times there. Luciano at times was also close, but he rather had a tendency to make some rather critical errors at critical junctions, like for example here with the double pack 40s and the Panzer IV. Rather chose, I think, the wrong set of priorities there, making it easy for the Tiger tank to get back in the fight. And then when he threw away his veteran 2 IS-2, that was really just a huge loss there. and a bit of a throw there for Luciano. I think that really sort of made it hard for him to get back into the game compared to Tiramisu. Didn't quite make those mistakes. He just sort of, you know, played it a lot more diligently, carefully, and slowly but surely it wore down Luciano and thusly moved his way towards victory. So pretty aggressive and a pretty close fight here between two good players on Holotny Final Winter. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a reply and some feedback in the comments section. And a big thanks to all my patrons and supporters, without which this episode would not be possible. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another Sunday episode.